Hi guys, so at the moment I wanted to kind of talk about one particular brand or person in particular. But first and foremost, I just want to say, sort of with my videos and things, I've mentioned about sort of gifts and things. I first and foremost want to say I'm incredibly grateful for everything that people choose to send me, or if I'm writing about it, or whatever it is. If I'm sent something, then it's amazing, and I really do appreciate that. And when I talk or write in the book that I've asked to be involved in, and it's talking about etiquette, events and gifting and things like that, I'm going to sort of talk about a little bit about in the book about how you go about it, really. And I think first and foremost is always part of why I've started doing the videos as much as well as I do with tweeting and things is to kind of they say thank you to some of the brands, and one in particular I'm personally working quite closely with, in terms of we're sort of perhaps coming together to make a collaborative brand of LDW, so my initials, by Tanya. So Tanya is a brand I've been lucky enough to know for quite a while now, and I met her through a couple of mutual friends, and I'd heard about what she does with the most amazing leather pieces and sterling silver, and Tanya has been within the sort of jewellery and the fashion industry for over 20 years, so her experience is incredible, and when she speaks so passionately about what she does. And when I met her, I was lucky enough to be given one of these bracelets at the time, and this is a dark blood red leather with sterling silver, and I really loved it. I thought the workmanship was fantastic, and the reason I had the red one, it was actually for a Prince's Trust event, but it was actually a third party event, so they were raising money for the trust. It wasn't actually a trust event. At the end of the day, they were giving money to the trust, and obviously the red is the trust. So as an ambassador, I was given this piece. I got on really well with her. I thought she was really fantastic. Like I said, she's very expressive about what she wants to do within her jewellery company, and it's been going for quite some time. She makes fashion pieces, but she also makes bridal pieces and really amazing bespoke pieces. So we were talking about sort of doing something along those lines. And I briefly was talking to her things about PR, how she is going about it, how she's getting it out there. So we sort of collaborated on a few items, and we came up with doing something together, and sort of maybe, like I said, turning it into a line for pieces that I liked on behalf of her. Or we're still trying to work out how we're going to sort of word the items, because it's kind of a concession line, perhaps is the best idea. Something, when a celebrity does a line for someone else, but I really wanted to get more involved in terms of sort of colours and textures and sort of design as much as sort of just popping my name on it, because I think for Tanya it's really important that she has the overall say. It's her business, she's worked incredibly hard for the company, but also sort of my background in terms of sort of fashion as well. I think we both wanted to collaborate, and it worked nicely together. So we've come up with a few pieces that I wore during London Fashion Week, so if you've seen any of the photos you may recognise them. I've spoken about a couple of them in the videos as well. So I just have a few of my favourite pieces that I've either borrowed, been given, or we've worked on together, and I'm going to go through those pieces and talk about some of the people that have worn them, why I'm really interested in the brand, and the quality and everything. So as I said, I first started with the bracelet, and we really liked the idea of having the red sort of theme to the trust. We're going to try and sort of work out whether we can perhaps involve that somehow, and maybe some of the percentage of the sales and things that go to the trust. Oops. That's typical, isn't it? You drop it, and I've got the tag coming out of the back of the sweater as well. This is just a little fun top, and this is only new look, but it's really cute and it's really cold. Okay, so my birthstone is aquamarine, so we came up with the idea of using an aquamarine as a signature with the pieces that we're doing together for my line, or however we're going to go around talking about it, rather than popping names on things or big old logos. Personally, I thought I think it would ruin and cheapen the brand for Tanya, and again, she uses such high quality pieces. We both thought that was a nice touch. So the original bracelet's there, and then all we've done is gone a slightly bigger knot and then added in. So the red is something that obviously trust orientated, so that was why it was quite important to me. So as we've been talking together, we come up with a few ideas, and Tanya was going to an event for herself, so she made herself a piece of jewellery which I'm about to show you. And this is a high necked collar choker. And originally it didn't have the wire with the crystal through it, it was just the leather piece itself. I can't undo it now, but it sort of sits quite high on the choker line. I said, oh wow, I love that, I must borrow it. So we come up together the idea of again sort of encapsulating the two, and then adding in the clear Swarovski crystal here. But again, that can come up with perhaps pushing your birthstone in, or the blue, or so there was all different aspects. So when I saw this type of leather with that, I was like, oh, that sounds really fun, I really like the idea of that. Tanya makes the most amazing corsages, so we came up with another design using her original piece of a corsage, and then the touch of using the aquamarine, which is my birthstone, and this appeared. I love this. This is one of those items, however you wear it, it sort of just jazzes up a really simple outfit or adds a touch of glamour. I've taken to wearing this on a trilby. I love wearing hats. It's kind of one of my things has always been to wear hats. So again, like I've shown you with some of the other brooches and things, if you pop it on to the hat, that looks really fab. Or if you pop it onto a sweater or a jacket or whatever, they look really, really cool. So I'm going to just slide that in. Sort of these items are sort of really beautifully made. They're fun, and they're quirky, but so they're not touched. They are beautifully made, and in the quality of the leather. Unfortunately, with the lighting and things, you can't see the texture as much as possible. But we'll link the Tanya's page and things together, and we have a mutual page which was the LDW line, sorry. So I'm going to quickly move on because I don't want to sort of keep you too long and not show you the actual pieces. It kind of defeats the purpose. So as I said, we were making a couple of items together, and we came up with the idea of looking for something for London Fashion Week. And I just happened to do a couple of little sketches, and then we said, let's see if we can make that possible. And obviously in terms of when it's being made, just because you're drawing it doesn't necessarily mean it can be made that way. So we came up with this idea together. So it's a bib style necklace, which I wore I'm trying to think, I think it was day 3 or day 4 of London Fashion Week, and I wore it with a Closter Agnes Boraine jacket, the studded hat by House of Harlow, which is Eileen Barkley, a white shirt, and then I wore a little t-shirt from We, which was oh god, I can never remember the saying. Love is all you need, but a back can never hurt anyone, or something like that. It's quite quirky. I can always find you the photo, but it's really sweet. And I really like the combination. So when we were talking about putting the pieces together, gluing the leather was obviously not strong enough, and it doesn't sort of turn to quality. So Tanya came up with the idea of adding these hole punches, and I actually think it gotted it up and gave it quite a little bit of extra texture. I love the camel taupey colour against the black and the silver. So we sort of progressed onto that line. And originally the first piece of that particular collection that came together is I was sketching, and I said we should do something with a plait. We should make something that's fun, it's easy, other people can buy each other, and it's accessible line. So the plait came about first, and originally we were going to do it all in black, and I said, oh no, I think we should add an extra colour in. And I wear taupe and black a lot, so that's why that came around. So as you can see, it is a plait, and plaits became incredibly popular in terms of jewellery and hair. Obviously, sort of the faux ponytail. So that is why we went there. And then Tanya came up with the idea of making a matching bracelet to go with the bib necklace. What I liked about this one, instead of using a lobster claw this time, she's actually used a string of leather, so you can expand or make tighter depending on the size of your wrist, or anklet if you wish. So the leather piece there, which is the cord, so you would pull tightly and then knot again. The leather is the most buttery soft leather, and the smell as well is incredible. It's such a shame you can't reach out and touch it. But again, so this is made with the hexagon pieces, which was something that I came up with, and we designed them mixed together. And I just quite liked the hexagon. I just thought it was something a little bit quirky, it's a little bit different. I love Art Deco and quite strong asymmetric shapes, so that was why I really liked that piece. In terms of the gold and cream, so that's more of a taupey cream, whereas this is actually more into the gold family. So this is coated sort of gold, so it has a slight more shimmer to it. So this is the Entwine bracelet, and this is the medium size notch. There is a smaller notch, which is sort of that size there, so you can kind of get the comparison of the two. And there is a much bigger one, which was done for me, and which again will come under my line. I wanted something a bit more capacious and a bit larger and a bit more avant-garde, in terms of when you're at the fashion industry, and sort of adding my little bit of twist on her design on top of. But this gold piece here has been worn by the gorgeous Ashleen Horgan-Wallace, who is a fantastic social. She did Celebrity Big Brother. She's always out and about. She's always looking incredibly glamorous, and she chose to wear this and this piece with a really fantastic outfit from We when she came and supported me at the shop. So that was really fantastic. So this is actually pearls, which is really, really cool. I think they're fresh seawater pearls in their natural state of the shape, mixed onto the sterling silver aspect there with the leather piece. Now this can be worn in so many ways, and this is why I really like this piece, and this does come in so many different colours. And we've got the strap line of 50 shades of leather, so we've been quite quirky with how we're talking about it. So it really, it's possible when you speak to Tanya, the whole point is that you can have them made up in your colour specification. So all I've done is undone the necklace itself. You can wear it just long, as Ashley wore it quite long. I tend to double up and wear it twice, but I wanted to show it is possible to wear it 3 times, and then you would go round, so you can make yourself a really cool choker, and obviously with the leather texture. I would recommend wearing this twice if you don't like sort of anything overtly too tight around the neck. So I'm just going to do it back up and then show you how that's worn, and then I'll go on and show you some the other pieces, so we're in time onto they. So depending on which way around you wear it. Oops, catching the 2 pieces together. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next pieces. So this is the Entwine necklace. So this is the version of the bracelet. So this was the first one that I started to wear in this dark charcoal. And then this also comes in so many of the other colours as well. My friend Fiona has this in the charcoal as well, and I think it really complements her. I think it looks really beautiful. And then this is the silver version. So this is a much lighter silver and slightly more metallic. So metallics are always a massive trend for spring summer, and they always look really good in winter as well. What I love about this is it's slightly gothic, it's quite cool, but it's something everyone can wear and feel quite accessible. Tanya also does some amazing pieces in the rose effect, and these are leather, and when I first saw them I couldn't believe it because they're so beautifully put together. And that is a necklace, and that came with some extra bits, or sort of, it depends on how you want to wear it. So I really enjoy stacking up jewellery, so I tend to wear 2 pieces together. And as I was saying, Tanya did do an extra large Entwine version necklace for me. So this is the largest version. You may have seen this in a couple of videos because I have worn this one before. This is my favourite now. I was wearing the dark for a really long time, but the reason we decided to go for a much larger knot was again because we were trying to tie the 2 of us together. I live in black. I really wanted a black piece, and at the time she didn't have any black pieces, so we came up with this one. And I said, is it possible to make the knot much bigger? And in terms of a design, Tanya came up with how it would work together. So obviously it's a knotted leather, beautifully put together with the sterling silver sort of slides, and then they can be slid up or slid down depending on how you want to wear it. Keeps the leather together, and then obviously with the lobster clasp at the back like that. They are fantastic to wear. They're really comfortable. You forget they're on. They're not moving. You can't sort of feel uncomfortable. They're really fantastic. There are much more of an array of the pieces. I have some other pieces as well. I've loaned out to some of the celebrities and some of my friends that are wearing the pieces. The designer Carlotta Atkins Bahrain, which I mentioned earlier, I wore quite a few pieces, and she's a good friend of mine. For her birthday, she had a pair of the Entwine earrings, so they look gorgeous on her. Also, my friend Shelley as well, who is a fantastic American writer. And she does so much over London Fashion Week, and she writes for the fashion calendar and lots of other people as well. And she had a pair during Fashion Week as well. She had a really dark sort of purple Entwine earring as well, and they looked incredible. So again, if you go on to Tanya's Twitter, so it's at Tanya igic, that's her Twitter, and then if you go on to at LDW by Tanya. That's are linked to together as well, and you can have a look at her pieces. But she does things like bridal and all sorts of things. I've waffled. I have to be careful on the time because of the time restraints. So I'm going to toodle off, but much love, and please do look out for Tanya.